How's it going, YouTube? Oxy here, and welcome back. So, Realms Deep 2023 came and went, and I gotta say, I was genuinely surprised by what we saw and how much we saw. So, again, the stream started at 2, and man, it was like almost 4 hours. Like, it ended at like 5, let's say 5:45, 5:50. And it's pretty much just nonstop trailers. I was just pleasantly surprised by everything we saw. Now, I'll admit that I really only thought this would be like an hour show, like short. They show a couple games, but no, just the sheer amount. Like, there's definitely over 100, maybe even close to 200. It was just nonstop trailers. Now, some of them I believe are just um games that are already out, and they're just like, hey, wish list, or games that are like just in the concept phase. It does favor PC, which is to be expected, right? Being that shooters really grew to their own on the PC. So most of these games, like, I'll probably never play, right? They're being done by smaller developers and stuff. But of course, I did my predictions video, and a lot of it came true. Pretty much all of it, except for one big omission. But then everything else was like, yeah. So I can't cover everything because there's just way too much. There were really great games. I mean, their standouts were like this cool top-down game called like Bloodless, which was like black and white, but looked great. New Blood Interactive's like Fallen Aces, really cool. Like, I don't know if cell shaded is the right word, but like just drawn game, looks great. Shooter, of course, coming, and yeah, just looks fantastic. Hope it comes out on consoles too. And of course, my predictions were all about the 3D Realm stuff, the stuff they announced back in like 2020, 2021, which we did get updates on pretty much all of them, which was just great to see. They even addressed it, having like a developer come out, talk about it, be like, hey, we've been silent, or like the development's been hard on this game. Can you touch on that? So I respect them for at least like coming clean, except for one, which was Sin. Sin not mentioned at all. We didn't see it. So as far as we know, it's like, what's going on with it? It's definitely worrying, being that it was a collaboration with Night Dive, because Night Dive put out Sin Gold, which was just like an enhanced edition for PC in like 2018, and then they were like, oh, we're gonna remaster it with 3D Realms Silent. So I'm a little bit worried. That was not even mentioned. So at this point, I'm like, is that even happening? But everything else got dates. Kingpin, for example, Reloaded, right? Announced at the same time around Sin. They got the dev out, basically explaining the reason it's taking so long was like they're missing parts of the original code. Like, apparently some of the source code is lost. So, they had to hire people, kind of rebuilt it from scratch, or in the sense, like, as close as they can to the original engine. So, it is, like, modified, but it still looks the part. Probably feels it, at least the trailer. They do a good job showing the before and after. It looks pretty faithful to the original. So, yeah, we got the release date, which surprisingly is not too far. Of course, today is officially October 1st, so literally about 2 months away. December 5th, 2023 is the targeted release date, but even there, they said they're pretty much done. Like, they're pretty much home stretch now, so we'll finally see that game released. One important thing to point out about the show, every game on there pretty much only mentioned Steam. Very few actually showed other consoles, which at first was like, oh damn, is this like a PC show only? But if you look on 3D Realms website, all these games here have like all consoles, right? Like the PS4 or PS5, Xbox One series. So you get it. Like, I'm assuming that release date means for everything, because they're advertising it for everything. So for those of you waiting for Kingpin Reloaded, shouldn't have to wait too much longer. Again, December 5th, literally basically 2 months, which if they could actually hit it, not delay it again, that's great for them, and definitely helps their public perception as like actually putting out games and not just being a studio that announces more games than they actually put out. Another standout, which I didn't really touch on, but one that 3D Realms did, was Graven, which is essentially, if you've played Raven Software's like Heretic or Hexen. I love Hexen, played it a lot on the N64. Essentially medieval Doom. It ran on the Doom engine. Very unique, right? Had like a hub system, different characters with different weapons. Very fun game, underrated. I know people complained that it was complicated, but I was like 10 and I beat the game, so skill issue. But Graven just looks like I'm like essentially the Hexen 3, if you will, like that we never got, which hopefully we do. Microsoft now owns Raven, its software, and Activision, who all had the rights to that franchise. They own it all, so it's possible. Please, Phil, give us a Heretic Hexen reboot, just like Doom, just like Quake will very soon. I'm almost positive. Give us that. That'd be so amazing. You would literally be the FPS king. There'd be no reason to own like a PlayStation if you only play first-person shooters, because you own like the big boys. But Graven, they got a new trailer. Looks great. I mean, I was honestly shocked. I was like, oh, this game looks awesome, because there was like, a lot of the YouTubers, they did like their early access stuff like a year or 2 years ago. And again, the game has been in early access for this time, but it's finally getting its full release coming out of it January 23rd, 2023. Same thing, this one's announced for all consoles, which I'm like, yes! Like, I love Hexen, so, because who knows if Microsoft will re-release those games, like Heretic Hexen. Graven is like, essentially fills that void, because the Medieval isn't on Xbox or PlayStation, I believe. I know it's not on Xbox, I'm not sure about PlayStation. Yeah, so the Graven fills that void just like a medieval shooter. It looks great, so I'm very excited for it. And the other one I talked about was like Wrath, Aeon of Ruin, which that one, same thing as Kingpin. They kind of talked about it. They're like, yeah, we had a really rough development with this game. I guess it was about finding the right people to work on it, because it is a Quake 1 engine. I believe it sounds like it's the base engine, like not how like Ion Fury is Duke and not like the original build engine. And the way they talk about it makes it sound like it's the original Quake 1 engine, which I'm like, damn, like, I mean, they definitely have to add stuff, right, to make it more modern, or like lighting, things like that. But yeah, they just talk about it. They're like, yeah, it was about not having the right people with the knowledge to work on it. We had to look for that. It caused like the delays. Even though Wrath has gotten updates, I will say it's one of the few games that it's been so long, but they were updating it with like I don't know if it was weekly or like monthly like updates. So that one has like a paper trail, and they're saying same thing as Kingpin. They're like, we're almost done. We're in the home stretch. And a little farther, February 27th, 2024. So a little more out there. We'll see, right? We'll see if it happens or what. Because just like Kingpin or some of these, it got delayed a lot. So being that's far out, that's almost March, right? So you look at it like, that's like close to 5 months away. So it's like, okay, that should give them enough time to bring it to the finish line. And Wrath was one that I was like, oh, the Quake 1 engine looked great. The enemies look fantastic. One to be excited for. And the big ones, right? Ion Fury Aftershock and Phantom Fury. So Phantom, no release date. I was shocked at that, because if you look on their website or anywhere, Still scheduled for Q4 2023, so a holiday release, which I hope they make it. I mean, the game looks far along. Like, they did show an extended gameplay demo at this event, and oh my god, like, seriously, it's literally Duke Nukem 2001, but if it finally came out, of course, it's more modern now, but the game looks so good. The interactivity, everything, like, the detail they put into it, definitely has the potential for me to be like game of the year, or when Turbo Overkill finally comes to consoles, which it will. Those two are like probably for me like gonna be right neck and neck. It looks great. If you're on PC, again, it favors PC. There's the playable demo, which was what they were playing, as in like you can go download that, try it out. So I was like, dang. Yeah, the game looks great. No release date, but it seems far enough along that they say we have announcements soon, like very soon, of probably the actual release date. And then Aftershock, right? The long-awaited DLC to Ion Fury is finally announced at the very end, which I was like, oh my god. Like, you literally had to wait till the end. It's coming, and at first I was like, they got to do a day and day release, like same day, but close enough. Aftershock is finally coming out, advertised for all consoles tomorrow. Yes, October 2nd, 2023. I was like so hyped for that. Can't wait. Of course, comes out October 1st. So literally the next day, I looked on after the event, I looked on the Xbox store and I couldn't see anything about it for Aftershock. So I'm just a little worried if that's like, oh, is it just PC first and then later ported? Again, it's advertised for everything, so I'm like, please, like, it's been so long, just let it come out. Looks great, brings like a brand new weapon, like essentially like a BFG style weapon, right? Like a final one, a proper one, because the base game didn't really have one, although the powered up crossbow was basically that. Of course, you have like the new vehicle, kind of like a motorcycle or something. Looks great, and yeah, just excited to play it. It's an expansion, so you do need Ion Fury. At least if you look on the Steam page, it does mention that, like, you know, you need the base game to play it. So it'll definitely be. I wonder how much they're gonna sell it for. Just because the base game, I believe, was only like $25, 30. Like, it's cheap. So, you know, that should be what I'm just spitballing here. 10, like $10, 15. We'll see. But I'm very excited. Aftershock literally out tomorrow. And so many great stuff. Oh, Dusk, like HD was announced, which they showed just a teaser. We're gonna get the full trailer on Halloween, and then they essentially revealed the release date, because apparently Dusk, it said like full reveal on the 5th anniversary of the Dusk initial release date, which which was in 2018, but a lot of people are like December 10th, which I'm like, oh, that's awesome. This is the same day Doom came out, the original Doom, and I don't know, it's pretty poetic, just because of course Doom is like the landmark for first person shooters, and Dusk was really the game that set this boomer shooter like phenomenon, right? Or like all these great releases coming like out. Like, it was the big one, and like to this day people still say it's like the best, or like one of the best. Like, it's fantastic. And what I'm hoping, they didn't mention it specifically there, but I'm like, so is that like the console release too? Because that's been announced, and they were even saying, I believe the creator, Dan or Dave Szymanski, even he said that like it's being worked on this year, like earlier this year. So I'm like, I hope that Dusk HD release is when the console release will finally come. Yeah, I hope it comes to Xbox. Yeah, just so many great games in this show. Not just shooters, even though that's what I focus on. There's many more. A lot of great horror games, like definitely like Silent Hill inspired. A lot of like cool top-down RTSs, just so much. Like check out the event for yourself. Skim through it. Again, the whole show was about 4 hours long. It was on their YouTube channel as well, so just look up 3D Realms and you'll see it. Twitch, yeah, check it out for yourself. So much great stuff, and kudos to 3D Realms for finally giving release dates and just information about these games. And what can I say? Great time to be a FPS fan. It really is. But yeah, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm pumped. This is definitely gonna be a great Q4 in terms of shooters or just gaming in general. So I'm very excited. But with that, if you like this type of content, I usually make videos twice a week. So please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. And as always, everyone, I've been your host, Oxy. Take care, and I'll see you next time.